your water?
It's gonna be great. Yeah. It's like,
Can we have Candace's comically large water brought in, please? Wonderful. So you're set up for
where
that.
should I put it? On
You
the
just
floor?
set it down there, yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm here with my wonderful guest, Candace Whang. She is a very talented hand model, among other things. She does a lot of things. She's very talented. One of her number one talents, in my opinion, is smoking weed. I think she's really good at that. So that's what we're gonna do today. That's the whole idea. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Of course. I'm excited to be here.
It's super fun to do this. I have some new questions.
Okay.
They're not the same questions that were in the first episodes. For anyone watching the show, we did take last week off to launch my other show, At the Elephants is Back, separate podcast. Go check that out. Link in the whatever the fuck. And but in the meantime, now we're back. We're back to This Is Heavy Doc. We're back to smoking some weed and asking some heavy questions. We have our waters ready. I fully advertised. Unadvertised water, if you can. That's my suggestion. So I do want to say sometimes when I work in the comedy community, which you're not allowed to say unironically, I say I have a friend who's a hand model named Candace Whang.
God.
They don't believe me. They think I'm setting up a joke of some kind. But you're not a joke. You're a real person.
No, I'm not a joke.
And that's your real name.
That is my real name.
We tend to smoke for the first time out of this guy. Are you comfortable starting there?
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
do
ready.
it. I think, let me remember what we're smoking here. I already ground it all up and threw away the package. That's the tough part.
Yep.
No. I remember. This is Blue Dream. This
Okay.
is this is a nice sativa. So it's a good talky
Awesome.
marijuana.
I love
it's good
sativa.
it's good for the chat. Growing a sativa right now, they're challenging plants.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things I am understanding, though, about why indica is so popular, amongst other things, is that it is way easier to grow short, fat plants than tall,
is
skinny.
it?
Yeah, I'm already figuring that out.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done indeed. I shall trade your cloud for my cloud. I'll see your cloud, I'll raise your cloud.
Wow, those are
Oh,
pretty
man.
good.
Yeah, that was monstrous. That's a good way to start it off.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you ready for your first question?
I am.
We're going to go right into it.
Okay.
You have a choice between living for 300 years, exactly, like you know you're going to live exactly 300 years, or you can only live 50 years.
Oh,
Exactly.
shit. Okay.
You have to pick one. You will die on your birthday of the 50th year or the 300th year for sure. That's the sign up. But if you had to choose.
I would pick 50 years.
Really?
Yeah. I don't want to live for 300 years.
Why not? What if your what do you call it? What if your longevity was kind of proportional, by which I mean like when you're 150, you're 30. You know what I mean? Because you're halfway, that kind of thing.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not like when you're 90, you're gonna be 90 already, and then for the rest of the 200 years, you're like completely useless poop factory. That's not the idea.
Yeah. Okay.
But everyone else is gonna die while
Yeah.
you're alive. Like, you're gonna have to watch generations of people die.
Yeah, that sounds too much for me. 300 years is a long time.
Like 300 years ago. Like, think about where your family line was 300 years ago. Probably in Korea.
Yeah, for sure. North and South.
Yeah, that's true. Because your background is in
wild.
North and South Korea, right?
Yeah, my grandpa's from North Korea.
Your
My mom's
mom's
dad. Mm-hmm.
And did he left North Korea at some point?
Yeah, he actually escaped, and he was separated from the rest of his family.
How the fuck did that happen? I mean, I can imagine how you'd be separated, but how did he escape? How how does someone escape from North Korea? Do you know anything about that?
It's really risky.
Sure.
Yeah, obviously it's life or death.
I would
but
say
in North
that's
Korea,
the risk,
it's
yeah.
like really fucking scary.
But like, I guess my question is like logistically. I mean, does someone smuggle you out of the country, or do you just make a break for the fucking DMZ, or like, do you know?
I do know some people like they just try to go to like China or like different.
Will they swim? Boats, Rob, is the answer. You dumbass. So you for sure would only want to live 50 years, no doubt about it?
Yeah, because I'd rather have like a full, happy, the people I know, I'm surrounded by them. I just think like it would be really traumatic to see generations.
To watch like generations of your family die? All right, next question. Are you ready?
Wait, what would you answer? Would you want to live for 300 years?
Yeah, for sure. Because here's the thing. I wrote the question, which makes it easier on me. And to me, the stipulation is the guaranteed number. It doesn't mean necessarily... Like, the idea isn't that I couldn't be shot or, like, killed for 300 years, but that I wouldn't die of natural cause. I'm not going to get diabetes or cancer or something. Nothing's going to kill me for 300 years.
Yeah.
But I will die on that day. I don't like the idea of, like, knowing when I'm going to die. That doesn't sound awesome. But the idea that I'm guaranteed that time, I'm like, oh, well, I know how much time I have to make use of. So I could start thinking in terms of 100 years of strategy for a lifetime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have no guarantee of getting to 31 in any way. Like, I could have cancer now and I wouldn't know it. I don't have health care. Like, I have no guarantee of when I'm going to die. So to me, it's very like, I don't give a fuck. That's how I live my whole life. If they're like, no, you're definitely going to live for 300 years, bro, for sure. Be like, okay, that changes things. I can start approaching things differently. You know what I mean?
Totally.
I don't know how that would affect my... It's hard to imagine how I would do things differently. But I think it would for sure... I'll take that. Because 50 does sound short. 50 sounds super short to me.
Yeah.
And I don't even...
short.
I don't feel for sure I'm going to make it to 50. But it's still in that context. Because if you only live to be 50, then there's a very likely chance that a lot of people who do care about you are going to watch you die, and they're going to watch you die what some might consider young. Because by the time I'm 50 in 20 years, 50 years is not going to be shit in life expectancy. Yeah. You died when you're 50 in like 2040. Wow, he really went early. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be totally different.
Yeah.
Let's take another hit before we do this next thing.
Okay.
Do you want to do this again, or do you want to smoke something different? You brought your vape pen, right?
I have my pen.
You could do that, or do you want to... We can load up one of these guys.
Honestly, I want to do another one
of this. Yeah, let's do it, for sure.
What just happened?
I just like got in my head like Roger Rabbit style. I was like turned into Christopher Lloyd.
That was crazy.
Just like this. All right, you ready for the next question? Double hit. I love it. Would you die for a total stranger?
Oh shit.
Like, you know nothing about them. It's like push them off the train track situation.
Oh my god.
I never understand why people can't pull people off the train tracks in those scenarios. Seems like, I mean, granted, it's a milliseconds of difference between pushing and like grabbing someone off the tracks, but I feel like you might just try it. You know what I mean? But let's just say that it's something like that, or like jump in front of a bullet or something like that.
For a stranger.
And let me be more specific with a stranger, because I feel like if you're just like, well, I don't know, is it like a little kid? You're like, yeah, what an asshole you would be if you didn't just like immediately say yes.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like some girl, someone just like you, like give or take your age, station in life, opportunity, all that kind of stuff.
That's such a tough question.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like some mugger pulls a gun, not even a mugger, just a crazy person. They're like, you or her, you guys choose. Are you just going to step up and be like, oh.
And this is me, like, this is now, my age. Like.
Sure.
Okay. Is it really fucked up to say that?
I'm not here to judge your answer.
Okay. I don't think I would.
No? Mm-mm. You just wait and see who they randomly killed? Because if you guys if no one volunteers, he's just going to shoot one of you. That's the scenario.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you volunteer yourself, then you know for sure that you saved that person's life.
Oh, but I don't die?
No, you die. That's what I'm saying. If one of you volunteers, they go out the hero because they made for sure, they sacrificed themselves so that the other person could live.
Right.
But you don't know anything about this person. They could be a scumbag. They could be the person who cures cancer. You have no idea who they are. It's a random person. It's just you and somebody else on the subway kind of thing.
Yeah.
Someone's like, one of you dies right now. Are you gonna? Would you step up and be like? I say step up makes it sound like I'm making the obvious, like I'm pointing towards a choice you should make. I really don't. I don't know that there is a right answer for this. It's a crazy fucked up situation where nobody wins, which is the kind of thing I was trying to think of.
Yeah. I think I would choose myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts that you're having around that decision?
It's not just about me. Like, I thought about my family. And that would be like...
So it's like saving your own life is your responsibility to the people that care about you.
That's one of the things, yeah.
That's interesting.
Sure.
I hadn't thought about that because I don't have as many of those people. I got a few people who would for sure be sad, but I've met your family, and I know that I haven't even met all of them. So it's like there is a tight group of people who would just absolutely be devastated, like a community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be like if the mayor got shot somewhere. You know what I mean? It would break the family the fuck up. Like 3 or 4 people would be pretty fucking upset that I died. But they all have had really hard lives, and it would be like, yeah, sure.
Oh, God.
A little bit.
That's terrible.
They'd be, I think there are a couple of, not like my parents. My parents would be fucked up, but like I think there are people. But I think there are people that are in my family who would be like, yeah, of course. Like my cousin died, and she was only a couple years older than me, and she died really young. She was like 23, and it would kind of be like they weren't batting great on that end. But that's interesting, feeling that responsibility to that. You said that was part of it. What was the other part of it?
I guess just how young I am.
They'd be the same age though.
I know, but thinking from, like, my point of view, like, I have so much more I want to do in life.
Sure.
And that would go away.
Yeah.
For someone that might be terrible. Like.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's lose, for sure. But that was the idea of the question.
Yeah, there's a lot of lose situations going on.
The more I do this show, I'm like, maybe we should just change the title from This Is Heavy Doc to This Is Fucking Terrible, Rob. None of these are good. Like, none of these are like, what would you do with $1 billion? And I'll be like, all right, so you're going to get murdered.
I'm going to take a hit to that.
Do it. That's what Virgilio said. He was like, you just asked me over here, what'd you like to get murdered with? An axe? Would you kill yourself with an axe?
Oh my God.
It's not designed to be a nightmarish inquisition. I see getting high or smoking weed and feeling that intoxicant. It makes your brain work in a different way. And so considering things where there is no answer, I just feel like it's healthy for you. It doesn't necessarily have to all be macabre. That's the kind of stuff that my brain comes up with because it's like, that is the highest stakes stuff. The high stakes stuff is not happy stuff usually.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, You're never like, everything's on the line at my birthday party. Wherever, you know what I mean? That's not, when you're having a good time, everything's chill. Everything's low stakes, actually. It's like, things shouldn't be. Yeah. And if you do start to introduce high stakes, it's usually something like, everything's falling apart. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh no, if we don't get the cake, and now it's negative. So it's like, high stakes kind of equals, you know? But I guess it's like, it can pay off big, too. Yeah. I don't know. This is still one of my favorites. So, if you could witness any 10 minutes of human history, what would it be?
10 minutes.
Yeah, you get to watch 10 minutes, like Christmas Carol style, like a ghost, fly on the wall, whatever literary device works for you.
And it can be, like, anytime, like before I was born.
Yeah. Anytime that humans have existed anywhere. And one time, Bruno said he wanted to see dinosaurs. And I was like, there are no people. And he was like, maybe. And I was like, no. Yeah. And he was like, but I said, fine. If that's what you want to spend your 10 minutes on. Yeah. If that's what you want to, if that's what's the most interesting to you, that's really what I'm after. So if that's what you want to do too, Candace, you want to go see some dinosaurs, it's totally fine. That's not really why I came up with the question.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't want to see dinosaurs.
I don't want to see dinosaurs either.
That sounds really scary.
Right? Like gigantic monsters covering the earth. No refuge, no buildings, no weapons. Are you kidding me? Even as a ghost that can't be harmed, I'd probably just be ghost shitting myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which I wouldn't be able to feel or whatever, but God, it would, what a nightmare. So back to the question.
Okay.
Human history. So since, I don't know, I'm bad at numbers. What is it, like 10 million years, Kyle? People? Ooh, Rob just made that up.
That feels a little much.
You think they're less than 10 million years?
I think, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. This will be a fun thing to put underneath my face. So, all right, human history.
I would have to go with, it has to be a specific event, right? Okay.
Yeah, you need to be able to punch in a date on this time machine.
Yeah, true.
Why do you say that? Did you have some sort of thought about, like, an era that you wanted to see?
Not an era, but, like, an event that happens a lot that we don't really, like, there's no solution to it. Like,
okay,
it's
tell
a mystery.
Me what you're thinking. What is it?
Like, people, like, I guess it's because I've been watching the, like, documentaries that are, like, on Netflix and HBO and all that, but the people who are, like, locked up and we don't really know for sure.
Yeah.
Like, if they're innocent or guilty, but they are, you know.
So you want to go find out if the Adnan Syed guy killed that girl.
Yeah.
Heyman Lee.
Yeah.
I got there. Mm. I always feel bad when I don't remember her name because it's like you should remember the name of the victim before you remember the name of the killer or suspected killer, whatever we're talking about.
Yeah.
That is a thing that I think is interesting, that I think has become very popular, like a more popular idea in the whole looking back on cold cases and stuff like that. That we've kind of, I think, gotten a little better about that because we get really obsessive about the murderers and we forget about the fucking people they killed. Yeah. Which is a way, like, those are the people that we should be remembering.
Right. That's why I love the HBO series of Adnan and Heyman Lee because so much of it was like
the whole first episode was like just about her.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like we learned so much. And yeah, I think it's really important that it's made in that way.
Right.
Yeah.
It's super respectful. It's the right way to do it. And I think it's not a sensitivity that we've had for very long. Have you seen Making a Murderer?
Yeah.
So, question then.
Yeah.
Which one? You can only choose one.
That one's so heartbreaking.
Yeah. And that's 2 people in jail.
Yeah.
If you know what happens with that, that's 2 people serving probably life sentences.
One or the other.
But the other girl was Korean. Do you feel closer to that?
It was actually really creepy, like, when they were talking about Heyman Lee. we had a lot of similar characteristics.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you really related to her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. So it was really interesting, like, watching that documentary from, like, her point of view, and then me kind of being able to relate, like, I guess on a more personal level than, like, Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey. But
Right.
I would pick that one.
You mean Teresa Halbach?
Oh, yeah. Right. See, yeah.
Exactly.
I just did it. That's
I know.
crazy. I was like...
It took me a second, too, though.
Yeah.
I made the effort to remember, but it did take me a second to fetch her name from my brain. Mm-hmm. It's interesting that we do that.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I know, right?
Either way, you have to consider the fact that if they are guilty, then you're spending 10 minutes watching a brutal rape and murder.
And here's the other thing,
Yeah.
Candace, that you have to keep in mind. You come back from this 10 minutes, you know the truth. It's the truth, for sure. For whatever reason, you're certain. You don't question it, like, was it a dream, whatever. Mm-hmm. Come back, it's certainty. Mm-hmm. But all you have is the knowledge. You don't have any physical evidence. You don't come back with, like, the rope or whatever, or the fingerprints or some shit.
Yeah.
You just know it. So there's a chance that you may uncover a piece of information that no one's ever known, that only you could know if you were there, that could solve the case. But then you'd have to convince somebody of that. Or,
right.
You know what I mean? It could lead to it, but you could also end up being like a couple of things. First of all, you could just find out they did it. How would you feel about that? Like, how would you feel after everything with the Adnan thing, especially with all three of these dudes we're talking about?
Yeah.
Have very, like, that's the thing that makes all three of those cases, or those two cases, interesting, those three guys.
Yeah.
They also convincingly claim to be innocent. Like,
right.
Like, the way they present themselves and everything you get to know about them, and their tonality, the way they talk, everything that comes from them, you're like, I really want to believe these guys. Like,
right.
just the way that they sell themselves. Mm-hmm. But to find out that they are full of shit and they did kill those girls. Mm-hmm. How would that make you feel? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
'cause
it'd be terrible.
I feel like what motivates us to want to find that out is because we're really confident that we're going to go find out it was someone else, and then we can sick the cops on that person.
Yeah.
But there's a fair chance, the one that doesn't make sense to us right now because of all the information we have, and maybe even more importantly, the information we don't have that you might uncover if you watched what happened.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways it could go.
That's so true. I definitely didn't think of it like that.
I think that's kind of the other point of this question, and the thing I'm loving about this is, like, anything having to do with time travel or anything having to do with fucking with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If we learn nothing consistently, if we know nothing else for sure, we know that it is always more complicated than we think it is. There's always more angles to it.
For sure.
There's always, like, every movie about time travel goes so fucking wrong so fast as soon as they do it. It's like, oh, man, we didn't even think about this.
Yeah.
And the truth is that those movies and TV shows are told narratively, trying to tell something complicated in a simple way. So they barrel it down to something simple. Real time travel, it would have so many different things and elements of it, you know, that would have to do with, like, that you could probably barely comprehend at once. I think that's the reason we haven't figured out anything like time travel or anything like that, is because I don't think we could deal with it. Like, I don't think we could cope.
Yeah.
I think the science is probably there somehow. Some people have said definitively it's like it'll never happen. It just doesn't work that way. But, like, the ability to view it, I don't know. I'm not sold that that's impossible. Like, seeing into the future, seeing into the past, like, I just don't think we could handle it, and so therefore we can't come up with the technology to do it. But that's just a guy smoking weed. I don't know nothing. Like that. Do you ever think about the chance that life is a simulation, and that this is all, like, we're all a bunch of, like, bodies plugged into a computer, and we're thinking like, oh, I'm sitting here talking with Candace at this little table, and this is all not.
No, I don't.
You never think about that?
Mm-mm.
Do you watch a lot of like sci-fi movies and stuff like that, or are you just like?
Not really.
So you get to just avoid that paranoia completely by not engaging with that sort of fiction that's fucked all of our heads
I guess
up.
so, yeah.
I think that's why, because everyone I've talked to
Mm-hmm.
has said yes, and it freaks them out.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. I have moments, like if I'm like on edibles or something and I don't know how to like control what's going on. That can get scary, but that's only for like.
But what do you mean you don't? What does that have to do with a simulation? You being scared on edibles? You feel like life is simulated when you're tripping like that?
A few times, yeah. I think.
Well,
like,
so then you have thought of it before. That's all the question is. Not like, do you think about it all the time? Are you obsessed with it?
I thought you meant like, do I live life thinking like that?
No. Just have you ever considered it? Is it something you ever think about?
Oh yeah, I have a couple times. Yeah.
Word. Okay.
Yeah,
And in what brings that up?
I guess that like my brain works really quickly, and smoking weed actually like calms it down, which is interesting.
Word.
But when I'm on edibles, like I just get to a different place where I can't snap out of it and control it. So I feel like even if I'm really, really high, like I can somehow function and people won't know that I'm like really high.
Yeah, are you one of those people that like is high all the time and people don't know?
Oh yeah.
Also, really quick.
What up,
human
Kyle?
history.
Well, my guess was 10 million.
Mm-hmm. It's about 315,000, give or take.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I was only off by 9.7 million, to be fair. So 9.6, 9.7.
Okay.
So yeah, that's just a devastating earthquake. That's not a big number. That was probably the wrong scale to choose to make that sound low. But
Okay.
science.
Science.
So speaking of science,
yeah.
let's speak about science.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You go into space. Would you take a trip into space on like a commercial flight to Mars? 10 years
10 years.
from now.
Okay.
Not 10 years to stay there.
10 years from now.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where technology is. Wherever it is in 10 years. They're like, we're ready for commercial flights. We're going to send like,
To Mars.
yeah,
Okay.
or the moon. It's a little more chill.
That sounds really cool.
You feel comfortable?
No, probably not. Like the idea sounds cool, but realistically, I don't think I would.
Let me ask you a different question.
Okay.
How do you feel on roller coasters?
They're terrifying.
I don't suggest you go to space.
No, that's what I said. Realistically, I
Right,
wouldn't.
right.
But the idea of it sounds really fucking cool.
So send you the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Word. We'll shoot it. We'll shoot it while we're
Okay.
up there. We'll send you a
I'm
Blu-ray.
expecting you to go.
Oh, I'm not going. But I'm building a slow coalition of people who are ready to go into
Okay.
space on a flight every
Do
time
you
I
have
do
people
this.
yet?
Oh, fuck yeah. There are plenty
Oh.
of people trying to go. My buddy
Wow.
Bruno is ready to go
He's
yesterday.
ready? Okay.
Yeah. Send him. That's what he said. He's ready to go.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah, me neither. Fuck that
No.
shit.
I can't. You like roller coasters too.
I love roller coasters. I love crazy rides. My friend Michael put a good thought into my head with this. He's like, we still don't totally understand the effects on the human body of what it even means to go to space and come back. And be there and interact with G-Force and all that stuff. And then he super schooled me on how G-Force works and stuff. And so I totally took his word on it. So that being said,
I'm like really high.
yeah.
Okay.
Good. You still got your pen over there?
Yeah.
Tokalicious? Fantastic.
Oh, should I use the bubbler?
If
Is
you'd
that,
like.
crazy?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I love to use that thing for vape pens. Get it. It's a little cloud in there. Word.
A little cloud. Says Rob.
Smells delicious. What is that flavor you're fucking with over there?
Oh, shit. It's like a cool mint. It's actually really good.
Word. Oh, yeah,
Try it.
thank you. Cool mint.
It's a sativa.
Dope.
Dope.
Tastes like spearmint gum. Do you believe in the afterlife?
That's a hard question for me. I want to say no.
Why? Why do you want to say no?
Because I grew up super conservative, Presbyterian, Christian, and they ingrain it in your brain that
Heaven and hell are literal things.
oh yeah.
Right.
And that this is your life, but then when you die, then you have a better life. And
Right.
that stuff. And
That's one of the things that I didn't love about Christianity growing up was that this is all bullshit. We're gonna get to the real thing when you're dead.
Right.
And it was what? First of all, that's super far away from now.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced a week when you're 5 is an entire lifetime? And then they're no, in 80 years you're gonna get to go to this super cool everything, all your toys.
Yeah.
And you're I was I can't, it's too far, first of all. And second of all, what do you mean this is all bullshit? This is a lot of stuff going on over here. How is this not the thing? I think this is the thing.
It's so true.
So you're feeling maybe this is the thing. This is the whole thing.
Yeah, because I feel like people need that comfort.
Right.
When you die, don't worry. There's an even better thing going on. And yeah, because a lot of people are afraid of death, and they need that reassurance in a way of you're not totally gonna die.
Well, then that's always one of my questions. Are you afraid of death?
Am I afraid of death? I don't think so. No, I feel I don't know, I just feel I've known people old and young who have died, and it's really, you don't fucking know.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I might die tomorrow, who knows,
Right.
So yeah, no. Not afraid of death.
Is it it's interesting to hear you say that. I'm curious, just to press you on it a little more, is when you encounter danger or you encounter things where you feel your life is in danger, do you have a lot of panic? Do you have when in those moments oh man, I almost fell off that railing and oh, I could have died. We all occasionally have some little moment like that.
Yeah.
When that happens to you, how quickly does the panic and fear of what just happened kind of wash away? Or does it linger a little bit of the rest of the day? Oh man, that was a near-death experience.
Yeah, definitely that one. It lingers.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also a thinker, so I feel I'm always thinking.
Is it fearful when you're having those lingering thoughts, or is it just analytical? I mean, you're just thinking about it, or are you fuck?
Both.
That was intense. I am shaken up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's hard for me to shake things off, I think. I'll get there, but it doesn't take me
Maybe that is a fear of death.
Maybe.
It's a fear of something.
Yeah.
Because I'm not perfect about that. I have plenty of things that I find hard to shake off. That I kind of get over quick. If I almost get hit by a car or some crazy shit like that, I don't think about it for very long. I'll find a way to get very analytical about it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a defense mechanism, but it doesn't really feel like one. I don't really get upset. I'm just like, man, people drive this way and I can't, understand.
Yeah.
I get a little frustrated with people.
Yeah.
But it's not, it doesn't feel like, oh man, my life almost ended. That was almost it for me. Like, I don't think about, I'm like, damn,
Wow.
A little bit. Just a little bit. It's like.
Okay, yeah, I definitely don't. I'm not like you. So maybe I am afraid of death. Because when you say it that way, then yeah, it does sound like I'm afraid of death.
Is it something you spend much idle time thinking about, like death, or you're gonna die one day, or do you think about that much? Or are you very in the moment?
No, I'm very in the moment. I don't like thinking long term at all.
Right.
It stresses me out, and it feels like I'm worrying for no reason.
Right. There's an appreciation that I find people who smoke weed have for thinking just like a little bit harder on something.
Oh, yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people who don't smoke weed, even if you just try to have a conversation with them and get a little bit deeper than base, than surface level stuff.
Yeah.
Then it's like, what? Wow, man, that's like deep talk. And you're like, yeah, man, I just want to have a real conversation where we talk about something interesting other than like, I don't know, did you see Game of Thrones? Yeah. Did you see Game of Thrones? Yeah. Did you see Game of Thrones? No. All right. Well, I guess we can't talk about it yet. Like, we have another conversation. Like, everybody's having that conversation. Let's have something else. We got one last thing. Do you know what it is?
No.
Are you pretending not to know what it is?
I think I know.
What do you think it is?
Trivia time?
No.
No.
No. We're going to mix it up. We're going to mix it up just for you because I know that you've seen Trivia Time.
Okay.
And so we came up with a different concept.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
You can't be. Because I'm not. Because I'm not. We're going to do a lightning round of Would You Rather.
Okay. Sorry.
You had to hit the thing
I'm
during my
sorry.
intro of
I'm
the
really
piece.
Sorry. What? I'm so sorry.
Yeah. One more time. And marker. We're going to do... Hey, go cover your face. This is a video show.
Okay.
Mark. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Good.
Wait, can we like pause first?
All right.
God, I can't breathe.
Just take a deep... Hold on. Okay. Last piece is we're going to do a lightning round of Would You Rather.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a bunch of Would You Rather questions, and you just have to answer really quick, as fast as you can. You're familiar with the lightning round?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I have not read all of these.
Okay.
Because I did not write them.
Okay.
Okay? This is from one of our staff writers.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather know when you're going to die or how you're going to die?
How I'm gonna die.
Would you rather be beautiful / handsome? I'm going to say beautiful for you. But stupid or intelligent but ugly?
Intelligent but ugly.
Would you rather lose all your money and valuables or all the pictures you've ever taken?
All the money. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. She almost wanted to keep those pictures. You change your mind?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Would you rather be able to speak and understand any language or be a master of any musical instrument?
Be a master of any musical instrument.
Would you rather be able to instantly know when someone is lying or be able to read people's thoughts but have no control over it?
Read people's thoughts. I have no control over it.
Would you rather live in the wilderness far from civilization or live on the streets of a city as a homeless person?
Oh, shit.
Answer.
The first one.
Wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather never use social media sites or apps for the rest of your life or never watch another movie or TV show?
Oh, shit.
You got to give up social media or TV.
Social media.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Good person. Would you rather? would you rather die in? I'm not here to judge you. Would you rather die in 20 years with no regrets, or die in 50 years with many regrets?
Second one.
You'd rather
Wait, no,
live
the
30
first
more years full of regret? Amazing.
The first one.
Would you rather be feared by all or loved by all?
Loved by all.
Great answer. Would you rather remove all species off the endangered species list, or bring back one extinct species?
The first one.
Good. Would you rather be transported permanently 500 years into the future, or 500 years into the past?
500 years into the future.
I think that's just going to be space, but okay. Would you rather have unlimited sushi for life, or unlimited tacos for life?
Tacos.
Great answer. Would you rather sell all your possessions or sell one of your organs?
Oh, shit.
Organs are your stuff.
Fuck.
One or the other.
Stop.
Good. Would you rather never have to work again, or never have to sleep again?
Oh, shit. Work.
Yeah, you like sleeping.
Work. I love to sleep.
Would you rather get one free round-trip international plane ticket every year, or be able to fly domestically anytime for free?
The first one.
That would not be what I would say. I would say the other one for sure. Give me that domestic anytime ticket. I'll be a fucking cross-country comedian. Book me anywhere. I'll be there tomorrow. Do you want to answer one trivia question? Yeah. All right. So I just wanted to blindside you with the last thing. 90s.
Woo!
She probably knew it was 90s.
Did I? I don't think so.
I don't know. I should show it. But... Is that in? Okay. Not that one.
Not that one.
Nope, not now.
Okay. Oh, shit. Mm-hmm.
The front cover of which band's album featured a baby swimming underwater? He's naked. Fully naked.
90s?
He smells like...
I'm supposed to know this?
Apparently not. This is a 90s band.
Mm-hmm.
They made an album.
Yeah.
On the front of the album, there's a baby who's naked, and he's swimming in a pool. And the shot is from underwater. Baby's underwater.
Okay. I have no fucking idea.
Come as you are. Just tell me.
It
Just
sounds
take us-
crazy.
It is kind of crazy.
That doesn't sound real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the thought of it makes you want to blow your head off. But hear me out.
It's so strange. Okay.
Search your mind. Just think. See if you can picture the image in your head.
Okay.
All right. So you have a naked baby
Right?
diving into a pool. Right. I'm being explicit, right? I'm not being curt with you. I don't mean to be.
I have no idea, Rob.
Nothing.
Nothing. I don't know how
Okay.
how I'm supposed to know that. Am I gonna be like, oh shit, it's that? Like, am I supposed to know?
Maybe if this box had been heart-shaped. Do you want to put that up on the
Yeah.
thing?
Are you gonna tell me the answer?
Yeah, I'm happy to tell you the answer.
Okay.
It's Nirvana. Yeah.
Okay. I really wouldn't know that.
Yeah. It's all good. Do we want to take another hit as a farewell thing? Is there any
Sure.
left in this?
Should be.
Yeah, there is a little bit actually.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.